Good morning and welcome back into the Great Scott Show on a Wednesday. We'll get you caught up on some signing day stuff in a little bit. Luke Johnson is scheduled to join me at the top of next hour. We'll talk a little Saints. Jack Betch, the former STM player, and went to LSU, transferred to TCU recently. He's going to join me at 8:30. We talked a little Cajun football with Gerald Broussard, and joining me now to talk a little Ragin Cajun women's hoops is Coach Garry Brodhead. First off, Coach, I know we're a few days away, man, but Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, man. Appreciate that.
So let's go back to the win on Monday night, the holiday homestand. You got 3 home games, and as you get ready for a little short break at Christmas, you guys beat LSU Alexandria and Lene Wheaton. I mean, she was. You know, I talked to you about 1 or 2 of your players each week, but 25 points a game that, Coach, I felt like you guys were going to win before it started. I'm not trying to disrespect the opponent, but a game you were supposed to win, and you did. What was your biggest takeaway from both Lene's performance and just overall your team's performance?
You know, I thought we were trying to get out and get started quick, and we didn't. You know, I thought we were kind of slow and not closing out on the defensive side, but we corrected everything and adjusted everything for the second half. So I thought we did a better job on the defensive side, made them turn over the ball, and we stopped turning the ball over. But, you know, I thought Lene is a scorer, you know, so she's going to get her points, but I think she shot it really well and, and played pretty much a complete game. So we were kind of excited to have her being consistent again, you know.
Yeah, you know, I think she's second on your team in scoring right now, just behind Tamara Johnson. Where does some of your offense, do you feel like, where is some offense outside of those two going to come from when you guys get into conference play next week?
Well, you know, that's where it's been coming from. You know, we needed a little bit more inside presence, you know, from Stewart. And I mean, Ren's been kind of a little bit inconsistent, but Ren's more of a defensive player. So, you know, we're going to need a little bit more inside touches from that group. And, you know, so just another guard to step up. You know, I think Nubia Bennett is going to help us to do that too. You know, she's getting a little bit more consistent. So, you know, I think we're going to have to get it from, you know, mostly from the guards, I guess, you know. You know, we got to get those point guards healthy again, and if we can get that going, then you'll see a little bit more scoring. And then maybe, you know, just by us pressing and getting people to turn it over and try to score off of defense.
How is your health right now? You mentioned getting some players healthy. How are you heading into this conference play next week?
Well, we are. You know, D. Rice has been out the last couple of games, and we figuring she'll be back for the next game. You know. I'm just hoping she can get in practice when we get back on the 26th. And then Destiny Rice. Sherry Porter, you know, is out because of personal reasons, so she should be back also. And then Ashley Jones kind of tweaked her ankle again, so it's going to be day by day on her.
You know, you mentioned Rice and Porter, and I know you were talking about needing to get some points inside earlier, but certainly, you know, their return can give you a boost offensively as well. And, you know, I know for you guys getting into conference play, and your goal every year is to win conference, you're going to need them. I know Destiny was on a minutes restriction early, and now she's, you know, missed a few games. You hope to get her back. Will she be on a minutes restriction, or are you hopeful that when she comes back, you're able to kind of just let her go and not have to keep as much an eye on minutes outside of what you would normally do?
You know, last week she really looked good in practice and all that. You know, was coming around and, you know, got banged up in the Lamar game. But, I think she'd be restricted some, but not as much. Yeah. You know, that's what we looked at. Man, we were feeling pretty good about how she was looking in practice. So hopefully we can, you know, give her more minutes, you know, and then eventually, you know, we're going to probably still restrict, but let her play a little bit more minutes.
Getting to start conference play at home, I know for years it was always on the road, and now it's been at home a little bit lately. How big is that to you, having experienced the other side of it quite a bit?
Well, I think we've been going to Arkansas State and Little Rock for 9 years. And they're really good program and tough to beat at home. So, to be able to get someone else at home and have that opportunity, but we got to take advantage of it. It did go. You're eventually going to be on the road. But man, when you start, and, it's like kids see some wins and all that. It's a lot easier to keep it going, and keep working, and keep fighting through it, So, because it's a long 18 games.
You get them started a week from tomorrow, Thursday, December 29th. Conference play tips off at the Cajun Dome against Georgia State, 6 o'clock tip, 5:45 pregame. The Space Jam game. I know you guys had the Christmas in the Cajun Dome on Monday. You have the Space Jam game. You have the New Year's Eve celebration against Coastal 2 days later. I love the themes you guys bring for all the home games. And, if you're not a season ticket holder, admission's free. Support the team. And, Coach, Merry Christmas. Final question. What, all things considered, you can have fun with it. It doesn't have to be realistic. But what would you want this year for Christmas if you could pick anything?
If I could pick anything? Oh, man. I would really, really love to get to the NCAA tournament. Man, I would just, and I know that's a ways away, but, man, I'd like to order it right now.
If Santa's listening, man, do your thing. But I know you guys have work to do in the meantime. Coach, I appreciate you taking the time, and I know we'll talk to you in the future.
All right. Appreciate you, Scott. Go Cajuns. Merry Christmas to all the Cajun Nation.
You got it. That is Louisiana Ragin Cajun women's basketball coach Garry Brodhead. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. Luke Johnson will join me. We'll get you caught up on some signing day stuff as well. Jack Betch later in the show. It's a great Scott Show, 103.3 The GOAT, simulcast on 1420 The GOAT, the greatest sports talk of all time.